Alright everyone, welcome back. I know this video was originally going to be, I know I said I was really going to do a dual color madness video with a hero of every color having a dual color version of their own decks, which were all really fun to play, with a lot of new cards rotated in and stuff like that. Well, as I got playing, I really fell in love with Coral Orchestra again, and the way it mixes with some of the new cards and some of the older cards, like the Faith archetype, and how it works and how it plays. And they're very fun. They can really hand out like big punishment to the meta decks. I think this is like a tier 2, tier 1.5 deck. My own personal preference, I'd put it at 1.5. I'd put them both there. So if you all follow me on Twitter, you remember when Faith first came out, I made a tricolor deck with green, black, and red. And Faith, well, I took that deck and I broke it into two decks, a green, black, and a green, red, and mixed it with a lot of the new some of the new cards to make it more consistent, more fun. If you guys want to look at like a green, purple deck, check out Thirsty. I'll put a link to his Twitter in the description of this video. Check out his Twitter. He's got some green purple decks, one based around coordination, one based around faith, that he's pushed all the way up to past 2000, almost 2100 now. So yeah, let's take a look at these two decks and let's have some fun. Alright, so here's the first deck. It's Coral Humans and it's using red and green. So our first card is No Time to Waste, which you get Rocket or Shotgun. The second card is Mia, and we're running her at 3. When a friendly human unit is placed on the field, deal damage to one random enemy unit equal to this unit's attack. So you want her to get buffed 1 or 2 times so she can burn either expire enemy unit, or break shields, or get them chipped enough so that they will die easily. The next card has been one of the most important cards in this set, as it helps you trade with higher units or boss units, and it's Flash of Valor. Give one friendly unit nullify damage 5 seconds, then deal 6 damage to the unit in front. The next unit is Chester Samazu, and he has Faith. When a friendly human unit dies, deal 3 damage to one random enemy unit. So he's really good because Faith units you want to die, and also with Ascension that technically kills the unit underneath, so he's able to pop off and get you some good either shield breaks or chip damage to get it over the top of the bigger units. I run 2 Adon. You can technically run him at 3. And he has anti-air and faith, and that's why you're running him. You're running him as an anti-air counter pretty much, with a big stat line. 2 wall jump, 2 disarms. One of the most important cards in this set, and one of the biggest combos in this deck, is White Cat Circus. And add 1 unit card with an MP cost of 5 or less in your deck to your EX pocket, and give all unit cards in your EX pocket -1. So you're going to use that card in combination with the Princess. So you want to use the Princess first, and then use White Cat Circus, and that'll give the 2 units in your EX pocket -1 MP, and you'll have basically ready to roll. And if you could Coral Orchestra on top of that, they're going -2, and you're able to just keep pressure up. This is the most optional card in this deck, Boxers, because it gives 1 friendly green unit only, and we're running a combination of units, so it could be a little bit tricky, but it gives a green unit shield, and if it's 3 or less HP, you give it an additional 3. So you're using it when your boss is about to expire, or on Ascension Chun-Li. 3 Morrison, which is just a 2/5 stat line with Faith, is very common for Faith units in that set. Ascend Chun-Li, she has Agility, Coordination 2, again combo, and if she's ascended she gets 3 HP and shield. So she's a 2/5 with combo if you have stuff on the field with agility, so she just rolls. She also procs Chester's ability if she ascends, and Mia's at the same time. So if you ascend her over something like Morrison, if you send her over something like Morrison or the Princess, then you're getting at least 3 damage +1 or more on random enemy units on the field. Again, your main combo starter is the Princess, and she has shield and MP boost 30, which is always important in dual color decks. When played, add 1 green unit with an MP cost or 6 or less in your deck from your deck to your EX pocket. So again, we're getting cards to the X pocket. We use White Cat Circus. We use Coral Orchestra. We get them even cheaper. This card can be switched out with a lot of the green legendary units. Almost all of them fit well in here as long as they're a human. And it has shield, and it cannot block or attack until you hit unleash, and then we all know what happens after that. He just rolls. And the last card is Engineer Lord Heisenberg. When you played, he takes a unit from your graveyard. If it's 5 or less, puts it in your EX pocket, makes it -2, so you can continue to cycle cards through. And when a friendly enemy or friendly unit dies, he gains +1/+1, so you can get him really big as well. So basically, those are your two major boss units, with Ascension being your other boss unit, your more common boss unit. And another card you can put in is Mechanical Mishap, the legendary action from Spooky Scary Village. It cycles all units from the graveyard into your deck again, and if there's 7 or more units there, which there should be in this deck, the way Faith works, it halts all enemy units for 13 seconds. Again, you could switch that in for Boxers. It's the most optional card. If you want to add the third Adon, I would put it in for Boxers and run 10 actions instead of 11, but I would keep it around a ratio of 19-11 or 20-10. I think that ratio works really well with this version of Coral Orchestra. So yeah, I got a couple games lined up. I think I'm going to show 1 or 2 against the meta, and just show you how it works, and then we'll take a look at another deck. So let's go take a look at some games real quick. Okay, so this first game is against Heart Tank, so we're going to go right at the top tier of the meta right away. As you can see, here's my combo getting set up, but I decide to try to get some Faith units out there. And here I could have used it, which I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking there. As you can see, you can make some misplays with this deck and still have a ton of pressure, where I should have gone, when he gave me the opportunity, I should have used White Cat Circus. But then here's me using Morrison's to try to get my units a little buff. And I'm going to grab a rocket and seal the top Felicia right away, because that would have been a field buff. And as you can see, we're just going to start going and exchanging here. I'm going to use rocket to put some pressure, but of course he has stay close. And there's where Boxer comes into play. And here comes the exchanges that you can do with Mia. As you can see, that field went down pretty quickly with very minimal damage to myself. And he's kind of just getting some good hits here. But we're going to try to keep her alive, but he's like, no, I'm going to shield. And this is where Flash of Valor came in. I was able to remove that X, survive, and take some damage here. And now I'm just going to get my EX pocket pretty cheap. And we're still hanging in there. And as you can see how the burn damage works, it's looking really good for me. And here's going to be a fun little exchange. The double drop. And there you go. Alright, so this game is against Metsu. And it's one hell of a deck. Metsu is great for pressure. It's a cheap art and a good deck to just power you and eliminate you within 1 or 2 hits. So, as you can see, I run the combo right this time, but I get only a princess out of it, which is okay. And again, we drop Morrison because we want Mia to get at least to a +2. And I'm already in trouble because he has the some good combo units or combo potential already on the field, and Sagat is just a game ender, especially if he has combo. But this deck is all about survivability and setting up the field swarm with good units. And as you can see, we're using the combination of Mia and Chester to burn out our enemies. And here's a great exchange with the general and shows you why Flash of Valor is so good. And the reason that happened is because the general has 12 HP and I did 6, and then Chester's ability proc twice, which then removed the general. And like I said, here is all about survivability. And killing this bomb is intentional, the way I did that. Because I wanted to proc some Faith and get Chester going. And I finally decided to use my rocket. But I have a good field set up here. And you can tell he's scrapping for units now. Like, he doesn't have exactly what he needs. We survived the big threats that he had at the time. There's still more to come if we can't make it through this. So if we can't finish the game with this here, we're pretty much screwed. But we're pretty set. He's gonna go for the last ditch effort. And it fails. So there's that. Let's take a look at the green-black deck now. Alright, so let's take a look at Spooky Scary Orchestra Black. Pretty much the same green shell with a little bit of changes. Because you'll see why is that my thought on Coral is, yes, I can run higher cost units and get them super cheap. Well, not super cheap, but I can make them playable. But I only want to do a 5 or a 6 cost at a finite amount. I only want 3, maybe 4 units at the max to cost 5 or 6, because the beauty of Coral is I can get these 3 and 4 costs down to like 1 and 2, and I can full combo off 5 MP. I could fill the field on 5 MP. So, and I can fill it with good units. So let's take a look at the cards. We run 3 Wall Jump, 2 Disarm, again 3 White Cast Circus, 3 Morrisons, 3 Ascensions, 3 Princess, so we have our basic combo. Here's the Magnetic Mishap. I use it here because I'm not using Heisenberg. And again, return all units from your graveyard to your deck, and if 7 or more units are returned, inflict halt on all enemy units for 13 seconds and give them +1 damage for those 13 seconds. So this is really good in this deck. Right to Intuition. Again, Black Faith is really good because we can pull units from the deck or from the graveyard back to either the EX pocket or the field itself. This is the cheaper option, and you can activate Faith a lot more this way. Give 1 random unit with Faith in your graveyard -1 MP and return it to your EX pocket. You can make things super cheap this way. Again, play it, and then have Faith of the Faith units proc off, and you're good to go. 3 Birdie, he's a human, and with Faith, and when placed on the field, if another friendly human unit on the field, he's +1/+2, so he's a 2/7 for a 3 cost, and Faith, so you can get him a lot buffer. Satsuki, she has agility and Faith, she's a 2/4, but that doesn't matter, you're going to want to drop her later in the game, and once Faith is procced a couple times for her, and you have more between her and Ascension, this is just super aggro deck, and does a ton of damage quickly. Overseer Alex Wesker. When HP is reduced to 2 or less, she becomes a Vile Killer Alex Wesker, and she ascends and she destroys 1 random enemy unit whose HP is less than or equal to the amount of friendly times black units have ascended. That's not going to proc at all in this deck. We are basically using her for the 2 ascend and take a quick 3 damage or 4 damage and turned into Vile Killer Alex Wesker. And she has Rush, and she deals 2 damage to the enemy hero, and your hero gains 2 life on attacking. So she's a burn unit, basically, a hero burn unit. And we're using her to ascend over the top, and also to get that damage and turn into Vile. And then the 5 cost we use, we run 2 Anero, and this is for burn. She has Faith, and when a friendly human unit dies, give one random enemy unit minus 3 HP. So it's a little bit different than running Chester and Mia, because they burn physical damage. An arrow burns through shields too, so if they have a shield and they have 3 HP, you're going to still kill the unit. So we run her at 2. You can run her at 3. You can take out something like another birdie and run her at 3, or you can even take out this card in Faithful Shadow de Capra. She has agility and faith, and give this unit minus 1 HP, and then deal 3 damage to one random enemy unit or the enemy hero, and she's removed from the game on death. She is your late game ender. You need to use Coral or somehow use White Cat Circus on her to get her playable, but once she is playable, she is your boss unit. She is your game ender. You put her on that field and you just let her roll and burn the hero, burn the field, and then have, again, this is a massive aggro version of a Faith Green multicolored deck. So that's this one. There's not much changes I would make with this deck. You can take out an arrow if you don't want as much burn and put back in Heisenberg, or take out both an arrows and put in Gar and Heisenberg and have 3 legendary, or basically 4 legendary boss units, and run it that way. So that's the deck. Let's take a look. I think I have 1 or 2 games lined up for you, so let's take a look. Okay, so this first game, I accidentally took this deck into rank when I was testing it, and it's against Raging Demon, which if you've seen my tier list, I have as my other tier 1 deck. And we start with our combo. And the reason I have Raging Demon so high is just its ability to just massively proc damage over and over and over. But this guy's a little greedy, and he doesn't want to take any damage, and I can tell that the way he's playing this game. So I decided to go full aggro right away. As you can see, an arrow combining with things to remove it. And you can see where Ascension comes in and procs with other abilities, and this is a fun little combo here. Right, ascend over the top into Vile Killer Wesker, and I have the pressure, and he can do nothing about this at this point, and he surrenders. Alright, let's take a look at one more game. Alright, so as you can see, we're in points match, and this game is against Shadowblade. So we are going to see a little bit more of an unlimited format here, but this could be used standard or unlimited. So we didn't get our opening combo, but we do get some Faith units, and we do have a boss unit in hand to buff up, and now we have 2 to roll with. As you can see, they're very action heavy. It looks like they're going to either be playing Quest Shadowblade or Explore Shadowblade. And we're just trying to get some buffs here. And they use Herculean Strength. So like, oh, we're gonna get some buff units on the field, and I'm like, you could take it, but if you're gonna blow a negate, then I'm gonna make you pay for it later. And now we can really roll with what we have in hand. We have some cheaper boss units, and we're trying to get our main boss unit up to a good face standard. And if they would have stayed patient, this is where I think they lost the game, is they were a little impatient. They could have removed the Wesker back to my deck, and they didn't. And so here's decision time for me. I could drop a boss unit, or I could just roll with it, and I'm deciding to kind of just roll with the punches here. And get some Faith procs to get the boss units even stronger. We're gonna Coral up, and now things are getting cheaper. And as you can see with this type of deck, we're able to just keep constant pressure on because the units are so cheap. going for a steal, and of course they're going to steal because purple cannot win without stealing. And I will say that with utmost fact that purple cannot win without stealing. And here comes the boss unit for the win. So there's that. And thank you guys for watching these games. I'll do a quick recap. Alright guys, so that's the decks. Hopefully you liked them. I love them. They've been super fun to play. Coral Orchestra has really kind of reignited a little bit of more fun style of fluid play into this game that I love. And I just love the constant interaction between units and the synergies, and then just Coral Humans, or have totally done it. Again, if you want to take a look at some purple decks, check out Thirsty on his Twitch or his Twitter. He's always playing, and he always has really good decks, and he's running 2 really good green purple ones. That's why I didn't touch him in this video. Also, thank you guys for the 100 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I never thought when I first started doing this channel or started making videos again after years and years of taking time off content creation that I'd be able to reach 100 subscribers, especially since I'm not very good at it, I think. But I do have a 100 subscriber special that I was going to start, and that's a lore series on the heroes in TEPPEN, and I had a poll on my Twitter, and everybody voted for the first hero to be that I go over for the lore is Nero. So look for that to be the next video, hopefully within a week or 2. I just started writing the script tonight, and I'm going to work on getting some captured footage for that. So again, thank you guys so much for the 100 subscribers. It means a lot to me, and I can't wait to give you guys more content and start this lore series that I've been wanting to start and get going on that. So thank you guys again. Have fun guys, stay safe, have a good time.